Hey, hope you're doing great. One thing I wanted to talk about today, I mean, obviously, a lot of the conversations that I have and videos that I do are really based on money, and it's really, hey, how often are you thinking about money? And it could be for different reasons. Sometimes we're thinking about money because we're thinking about trying to take the next vacation, make a big purchase. Maybe we're trying to pay some bills, keeping up with the Joneses, checking out the neighbors down the street, or maybe it's just thinking about money, trying to get through the month. A lot of times we're left too much month at the end of the money kind of thing. And but most of us think about money every single day because it just touches almost everything that we do. Money's really intertwined with a lot of that. And you see, the thing is, the decisions that we make, the way that we think about money, they help us either become stronger financially, or they can actually end up making us more vulnerable financially as well. And so a big part of it is we want to be making or helping making wise choices, wise decisions with our money. Good things to do, things to stay away from. And really a lot of that is understanding how money works and how to, not just how money works, but also how to get money to work for you, how to get money working harder for you than what you are for it. And that's kind of what we all want, right? We want to get ourselves into a position where we're not having to get up every single day to earn a paycheck or to earn a chunk of money. We've got money going out and doing that for us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, doesn't sleep, take time off, sick days. It goes and gets that done. And because the truth is, so many people that I sit down with, a lot of people spend more time planning a wedding or a vacation than they do their own finances. And I mean, if you look at a vacation, retirement, all that kind of stuff, all retirement really is an extra long vacation. So if you're willing to spend days, hours, several weekends to plan a week or two vacation, you should probably spend a bit of time to plan your 20-year vacation. And so a big piece that I look at that at is, or how I communicate that is I call it building your financial house. Because and everyone's financial house looks a little differently, and it's also based on where your priority is, or what you want your house to look like. Maybe the big pieces you're looking at right now is becoming debt free. Maybe it's a vacation property, or just funding your retirement. Like, everyone's house is a little different, but there's a lot of concepts and strategies that stay the same for every person's house. And the biggest thing I help people when we're figuring out their financial house is we help establish and get the number together of what we call your financial independence number. Basically what that means is, it just means how much money you need to have saved up in order to provide a workless retirement. How much money do you need to have saved up for your money to be working for you, so you don't have to work for it, like I mentioned earlier. And this number is different for everybody. It's important to have that figured out, because if you have that target in place, you can actually hit that target. You know how difficult it is to hit a target if you can't see it? Well, that's kind of what it is. I know some people say you can do it in the dark because someone breathes so loud, but it's not about being intimidated by that number. It's not about being concerned or insecure about that number, but it's knowing where that is. So now you've got a direction and a heading to go to. Most people, the mass majority of people, don't just show up to the airport and say, "Give me the first ticket out of here." That's not really how vacations are planned. Really, how vacations are planned are, you figure where you want to go, you book your tickets beforehand, if you got to have connections or where you go, and you plan that journey out. Well, it's the same thing with your finances. So once you've established what's your financial independence number, then you can start building your financial house around that so you can hit that goal. And so, like any house, one of the most important aspects is having a foundation. Because if you have a weak foundation, it doesn't matter what you build on top of it, it's just not going to stand when storms come. So with your finances, your foundation is protecting your income, because your income is going to pay for everything else. So you want to protect that income. And generally you do that through life insurance. And so the reason why you do that is because, you look at it, if you got a 2-income household, if something happens to one of those incomes, that's going to hurt the family financially. Just because you lose an income, it doesn't mean the bills automatically get cut in half either. Your mortgage or rent still need to get paid, your insurances, the kids' events and schooling, like groceries, all that stuff still needs to continue to be purchased. But now you're doing it on less income. So by protecting that income, you can create a lot more secure financial house, because you can give yourself an opportunity to keep working towards those goals. So, when I look at the insurance, it's really three ways of looking at whether it's important for you to get insurance or not. If you look at it and you say, hey, if something were to happen to me, if I was to pass away early, or before we reach our financial independence number, do I want my family's standard of living to be better, to be worse, or to at least stay the same? Because the truth is, if you want your family's standard of living, the way that they're able to live their life, to stay the same or get better, you're going to need to have some kind of insurance. If you're one of the very few people out there that you're totally fine with your family's life getting worse when you pass away, then I guess you can keep doing what you're doing. That's going to be what it is. But once you got that foundation done, what you can do is now you can start framing up your walls, framing up your building. And when it comes to your financial house, the framing is what we call your cash flow plan, or what a lot of people know as a budget. It's really just designating where your money's supposed to go, so dollars don't get wasted and just get thrown out. The thing is, I see a lot of stuff online, and people say, oh, I'm not buying my coffees outside anymore, and yet I'm not a millionaire. Well, that's because the reality is, if someone's not buying a coffee, say they're spending $4 on a coffee, they just take that $4 and they spend it somewhere else. See, that's not how you build wealth. If you're choosing to not go out and get these coffees, or eat out every lunchtime, or whatever it is that you're deciding to cut back on, what you need to do is that instead of you just having that money stay in your bank account in general revenue, you need to give that money a job. Again, you got to give that money a purpose. So if you spend $4 for a coffee every day, and now you're no longer doing it, what you need to do is you need to take that $4, put it in a separate investment account, so that you have that money set aside. So it's got a specific purpose. And you got that side, and so then you can start seeing that money grow. That's how you're going to become wealthy. And so, because the truth is, I've got clients with all levels of income, and it's not really how much money you make. What I find is kind of a main theme, a main common piece, is it's not necessarily how much money you make. It's really how much money that you keep is really what helps you become financially free. You can make a ton of money and spend a ton of money plus one, and you're not going to become financially free. So it's really, hey, what are you doing to best put that money to work for you? Now, as you got your frame done up on your house, now you can start putting your roof on. Your roof is there to protect your house, from a lot of different things. And your roof really, in this case, is made up of key legal documents. Power of attorney, having a will in place. These are important things to help designate, what you want to have done when you pass away.